I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. 40 hours to unlock a single hero. Why are Vader and Luke locked at the start? As if you could expect anybody to earn 60,000 credits in a reasonable amount of time. Nobody's gonna play for like 4 or 5 days and have enough money to unlock a... Oh. Hey everybody, Roadman here with a very different kind of video. Now, you may know me as that channel that uploads half-decent memes, not very often. More likely you know me because we're friends. I have a very small channel, so I don't expect a lot of people to watch this, but I just wanted to get my thoughts out on this issue. There are timestamps in the description, so you can skip the beginning if you know all the drama and go to what's relevant to you. Now, recently EA's Battlefront 2 was released. I myself had the 3-day early access and the 10-hour trial before that. And for those of you unfamiliar with the fiasco that has been surrounding the loot box and progression system in the game, I'll break it down. Battlefront 2 has a system whereby when you finish a match online, complete a campaign mission for the first time, or achieve milestones or challenges, you are rewarded with in-game credits. These credits can be used to purchase loot boxes or crates. The contents of those crates can include what are called star cards that give you new abilities or other advantages to use for a specific character or class. They come in 4 tiers, and each higher tier makes the effect of the cards more noticeable. For example, the card Reinforced Hull, which at its maximum tier, improves your ship's health by up to 20%. These crates could also be purchased with real-life money, so anyone with a lot of spare money could buy many loot boxes and get many high-tier star cards, giving them an advantage over other starting players. On top of this, many of the game's iconic heroes are locked at the start, requiring credits to unlock them. Sounds straightforward enough, but let's take a look at some points major YouTubers and the general community have stated and go over my feelings on them. Section 1. Loot boxes and gambling. In essence, yes, I see where this one is coming from, but I mean, come on. If people are this outraged by virtual gambling, where's the massive campaigning to bring down casinos and real-life gambling that is much more destructive, some would argue? First of all, no. You do not have to buy the loot boxes. You can earn them in-game easily enough. In 4 days of playing, I now have about 60,000 credits, or enough to buy roughly 30 loot boxes. So you're not being forced to use real money, and the argument that it takes too long without using real money has little to no ground. The people that will take advantage of this are either A, spending their own money, which you have no right to say how they spend it in the first place, or B, getting it likely from their parents, in which case it should fall on the parents to watch what they spend and not the companies. In summary, I'd say the loot boxes are a form of online gambling and maybe should have some research as to where their place in video games is. But no, EA is not forcibly squeezing money out of anyone, and like I said, I won't ever buy a crate with real life money and I don't feel disadvantaged at all. Section 2. Pay to win. Here's where I start to take real issue. On one hand, statistically yes, spending money on the crates and getting lots of star cards would give you an advantage, making you more likely to win. But when you go a little bit deeper, there's a lot of holes in this. First of all, skill is gonna trump star cards every time. I've never been killed feeling like the enemy's star card was responsible. Being a good player isn't about what card you have equipped, it's about using your abilities, your environment, and your aim to outplay your opponent. Second, you earn crates and buy extension star cards at a decently high pace as it stands, referring back to it takes less than a week to acquire up to 30 crates. I think this is a wave of people getting killed because others are more skilled and looking for excuses. Another point I'd like to bring up is that a player needs to unlock slots to use these star cards for a maximum of 3. So eventually, you can't keep paying to get better because you can only have 3 equipped, and eventually everyone will have 3 per class, and it should become even. The only issue I can foresee with the star card system is if months down the line a new player starts and has no star cards and everyone is running around with 3 high tier cards equipped. But that has nothing to do with microtransactions. Also, the matchmaking tries to match you with players with a similar performance. So really no one is paying to win. At the very best, you're paying to play with better players who are going to kill you more often. And these microtransactions are why all the future DLC post-launch is completely free. Now, I may be going from a situation where I would comfortably spend no real-life money and get free DLC to one where the option to buy boxes for those that wanted to is going away, and I may have to pay for all future content as a result. Also, forcing people to pay for the DLC would potentially split the community between the people that do buy it and the people that don't buy it, cutting the game's lifespan and making it a worse investment for everyone. All because people don't want stupid Carl from school to have all the cool star cards, because he has his mom's credit card. Section 3, Locked Heroes. Let's recap. I've been playing for 4 days and I have 60,000 credits. If this game had launched how EA originally intended, I would now be able to unlock Luke or Vader. Games have had locked things for decades. No one cried when all the armor in Halo Reach wasn't unlocked at the start. No one boycotted Call of Duty when all the guns and even perks weren't unlocked in COD. So why the rage about locked heroes who were not even better than the starting ones? A week to unlock a hero honestly doesn't seem unreasonable to me. In 2 months or so, an average player could potentially have every hero unlocked, and then good guy EA drops all hero costs by 75% due to backlash. But they lowered rewards by 75% too, I hear you screech. That is only the campaign rewards, and they did that for a very good reason. Now, the reward for beating Battlefront 2's campaign is unlocking the main character Iden Versio for online play. But EA doesn't just give you the character, they don't give you Iden. They give you just over enough credits to unlock her yourself if you choose. And if you don't want to spend those credits because you don't care about Iden, you can spend those credits on crates or save them for a hero that you'd prefer. So now I'm sitting here less than a week of playtime and enough credits to unlock almost every hero, and I still am hearing people complain about this. Maybe it's different for people who work and are very busy. It may take much longer to unlock characters, but that's been true for every game. Casual Halo Reach players may never unlock the inclement weather effect. It just means that the ones that did felt even cooler for having it. I played Halo Reach for years and still didn't quite make it to the rank of Inheritor. Shit happens. Bottom line is the locked hero issue is more or less solved. They cost barely anything. Section 4, YouTubers. Late Night Gaming, a very popular YouTube channel, recently made a video about gambling and microtransactions in this game. Link in the description below. He makes some valid points as to the gambling, but later he says EA wants you to be a monthly income for them, a cash cow, to be a zombie at their slot machine. To which I would say, let people who want to spend their money that way do it. It brings them happiness, and for others like myself, we get the free DLC that doesn't split a community when it comes down to it. To get a lot of post-launch content, we need to pay, be it as DLC prices or microtransactions. You don't get it for free. Take your pick. And if you'd pick DLC, I'd love to hear why. Perhaps microtransactions the way Titanfall 2 does it are the future, like he suggests. Then again, the reason people gamble in the first place and the reason it's addictive is the reward. There are plenty of losers and plenty of winners. Some people may buy a crate in Battlefront and get a tier 4 star card for $1 that in Titanfall's system may have cost them $5. This is just an example though, I'm not saying it's a perfect system. Just asking for people to stop the blind hate and look at both sides. And Late Night Gaming also suggests that the loot boxes are not optional as they're not designed to be optional. To that I would say, I am choosing the option not to buy them. Rather, I'd save my credits for DLC heroes. Meaning to me, they are optional. By extension, whether they're optional is a matter of opinion, and honestly, I'd say they are optional unless I can't play the game without them. I think you may need to check the definition of that word. You receive star cards regardless. Even if you don't buy them with money, even if you don't buy them with credits, you're still getting star cards. The Actman, another large YouTuber, made a video recently as well, link again in the description. He says locking characters like Luke and Vader at the start and making it a moment of pride to unlock them is moronic because in their last game they were available at the start, and likens the locked heroes behind 40 hours of gameplay, something they only changed because they were caught. My response is that it's fine they changed it, it shows they're listening, and it would have been fine if they didn't. Now hear me out on that one. Let's do the math. 40 hours divided by 7 days is 5.7 hours a day, or 2.8 hours a day for 2 weeks. Assuming most gamers would play between 3 to 6 hours a day, somewhere in that range at least, it would take between a week to 2 to unlock a character. That doesn't sound that bad to me, honestly, even if you add cushion for loading screens. Think about it, in under a month, Everyone should have Vader and Luke unlocked if that's what they wanted. It reminds me of kids screaming in the store because they can't wait an hour for their damn ice cream. That same math shows to unlock every single star card would cost $2,100 US, which to me only weakens the pay to win aspect, as you would have to pay over $2,000 to really pay to win and have everything. If you're dropping over $2,000 on one game, who's the real winner? EA is, and by no fault of their own. Are loot boxes bad? Yes. Are the ones in Battlefront 2 worse than other games? No. Should people buy them? No. If people buy them, it's because they were manipulated and addicted to gambling and EA is the bad guy because human beings chose to spend money on things they wanted? Hell no. As to free DLC costing in-game credits, the DLC heroes, again I'd point out in 4 days playtime I have more than enough credits to buy those heroes. But since the Ackman's video was more directed at EA in general, I would agree a lot of their practices seem shady and shitty. But this video isn't about EA, this video is about Battlefront 2. I'm not seeing all these awful things everyone is screaming about. In conclusion, EA is a company that has made a lot of questionable decisions. Loot boxes are most likely gambling and should not be in video games. Battlefront 2's loot boxes are not worse than any other game out there. The locked heroes are not a problem. Pay to win is greatly exaggerated. You should buy this game and not buy any loot boxes and have a great time playing like me. I think a lot of the hate is coming from entitled people who want to feel like part of a crusade to bring down the big bad corporation. And YouTubers and people of influence are exaggerating things to garnish favor and views. So, hit me with that dislike and subscribe for more. You might be able to hear my cat just fucking going to town in the background. See you next time, guys.